Let's delve into tonight's big stories. The tariff paid on gas supply for both domestic and industrial use may be going up from March this year. Now, this is due to the decision by government to restrict gas supply from the Jubilee field and rather utilize gas from the NU field. Now, commercial director at the Ghana Gas Company, that is George Ajay, is calling for an intervention in the regulation of the pricing to cushion the company and consumers.
The Sankofa gas produced by Italian oil company Eni is expected to come on stream from March 2019 to produce associate gas to the Ghana Gas Company for processing to be used by the power-producing company Car Powership plant. The higher price of gas produced by Eni is as a result of the processes associated with the refining, which is part of an agreement signed between Eni and the government of Ghana. Speaking at a workshop on gas price formation by Imani Africa, Commercial Director at Ghana Gas, George Ajay, indicated that the gas price of $7.5 per standard cubic feet of gas transported will make the gas higher than the price Ghana is currently getting from a Jubilee field.
We have been told to restrict transportation of Jubilee gas because of the ENI take-or-pay liability regime. So we have been told to move about 120 million standard cubic feet of ENI gas in 2019. Therefore, we will move less and less of the cheaper Jubilee gas. So in effect, once you restrict the movement of the cheaper Jubilee gas and you have to move more of the expensive ENI gas, the end customer is going to see higher prices of gas from 2019.
Energy economist and senior fellow at Imani, Dr. Theo Ichampon, believes even though the agreement has already been initiated, government can intervene to get the price down.
There may be an opportunity for the price to go slightly further down because of the indexation and then the linkages to oil prices, or the linkages to even to inflation, in the pricing mechanism. That's in the future, but as we speak currently, the price has actually come down quite substantially by a factor of about $2.
Most participants at the workshop raised concern about the number of regulators in Ghana's gas market. Ebenezer Sabute's report for Joy Business.
Well, let's make sense of all of this. Joining us via Skype is energy expert Ishmael Ejekumhene. Let's get some more clarification on this. Good evening to you, sir. This is my understanding of all that is taking place. So we are switching from Jubilee gas, which was cheaper, to Sankofa gas. That doesn't really add up for me. Does it add up for you?
Well, I think the government is faced with the challenge of how to utilize the ENI gas, which is a take-or-pay contract, compared to Jubilee gas, where actually like the first 200 billion standard cubic feet that we take from Jubilee, we not actually pay that gas. So that could be one of the main solutions government is looking at. Except that I didn't know that Ghana Gas have been started to stop processing gas or restrict the processing of gas on Jubilee. Means they're going to cut down the gas and then pushing the EN.
Okay, and we are told this is government policy, and so basically that the decision has been made. Is it the right thing to do?
Well, I guess ultimately it's its effect on the end user gas tariff that should concern the end user. Because once we have the same volume of gas we need to run our thermal plants, in principle, that shouldn't create any problem. Except that for Ghana Gas, it's not good news. Because unlike the Jubilee gas, they don't get any liquids by just using the ENI gas because it's clean gas, So if Ghana Gas were to talk, they wouldn't want to push the ENI. I suspect, I'm using the word suspect because I suspect it's an attempt by government actually help reduce back the EN gas that we bring the structure.
Okay, I was actually going to raise that point because Sankofa reminds me of the controversy to do with take or pay, and the fact that we're paying for gas we're not using. I want to be mischievous a bit tonight. You think that that's the reason why maybe government may have shifted its stance on whether or not we should, continue receiving gas from Jubilee? Could that be a reason?
No, you wouldn't even be mischievous. That could be the only reason. Because look, Ghana Gas has a processing plant. It has a transmission. So if you're telling them that they shouldn't process the Jubilee gas or they should restrict processing Jubilee gas, you are actively, until this decision is pushing them to a gas with very limited processing gas, the way I see. So that could be the only reason. And they cannot only take the decision because Ghana Gas at the moment are paying for the amortization of took for the gas processing plant. Otherwise, if they would must pay, then I'm sure that it wouldn't have come. It wouldn't have been an easy thing to take. But you are right. That could be the reason why they are probably. But again, I need to mention because this is a friend. Yes.
All right, and let's unpack this a little for our viewers tonight. The trickle-down effect. What's going to be the impact on the consumer? And is this going to have any impact on energy or power generation?
It could, unless at the end of the day, when the tariffs are being determined, there is what we call the average weighted cost of gas, which is a combination of the gas, Jubilee, and now if there is any LNG that also goes into it. And the fact that the Jubilee gas is cheaper, you take it out. And obviously the gas is going to go up. That would mean that the cost of power is also going to go up. It may have an impact on tariff.
Okay.
Electricity tariff.
Okay, I just want to pick your thoughts on this just for 20 seconds. We had Imani call for intervention to cushion Ghana Gas and consumers. Is there any intervention that can be made at this point? Just briefly.
I doubt, Dara, because there was a lot of flexibility with it. I did mention that it's a volume that they are getting for free from the department. For ENI, there's nothing like that.
Okay.
Take decision because they probably should find outlet in ENI.
All right, thanks very much for your time tonight. That was energy expert with Kite there, Ishmael Ajikumhene. Now, the Association of Small-Scale Miners has begun a sensitization program to scale up the participation of women from 13 to 15% within the next 5 years. Currently, fewer women are working in the small-scale mining sector, a situation the association thinks is not too good. The National Secretary of the Association, Godwin Ama, who was speaking at a program in Bole in the northern region, says they are grouping all women and pushing for government to grant them concessions. The miners were sensitized on compliance, how to legally acquire licenses, and some challenges faced by the sector. Martina Bugri has come through with this report.
Mr. Ama said the association was working hard to ensure the numbers increase.
We are looking at the women, SDG goals in Group 5, we are looking at equality, where most areas that we go, we try to organize the women because we want the women counter, but the number of women operators are very little. If you look at the whole sector, it's about 10 to 13%. So we as an association want to help the women who are participating for their level within the next 5 years to go about 40%. So now what we are doing is we are grouping all the women within the small-scale catchment area into the women in artisanal and small-scale concepts. And then push the agenda. One, government should give women concession in terms of where to mine. If an area is given, specific areas should be given to.
He raised concerns about large-scale miners taking over lands, denying small-scale miners space.
Government should support the various small-scale miners associations and then the small-scale miners themselves. If you look at this area, Bali or the northern sector, there are a lot of areas that are being occupied by large-scale operators, and you don't find grounds for the small-scale miners. And within the community mine concept, government should allow the small-scale miners to get some grounds to operate legally.
The Bali district chairman of the Small Scale Miners Association, Alhaji Seydou Shaibu, cautioned the miners against repeating previous mistakes that destroyed the environment.
Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission says it is working with other state agencies to target directors of Men's Gold over operation of questionable investment schemes. This after the court threw out an application by Men's Gold seeking to halt supervision of its activities by the Commission. There is more in the following report.
The action by the Securities and Exchange Commission is coming after the court threw out an application by Men's Gold seeking to halt supervision of its activities by the Commission. The gold dealership firm in its application had argued that its operation doesn't come under the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission, but rather the Minerals Commission. We are picking up some fresh information which suggests that the court also ruled that Men's Gold should return to the negotiating table with the Securities and Exchange Commission on their concerns. Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Paul Abebio, tells Joy Business the joint action could lead to the prosecution of the directors and other executives of Men's Gold.
I understand some of the executives are on the run. And so we've also communicated with the Attorney General, with IYOCO, about some of these issues. We've communicated with BNI and CID as well. So, and this is where we call it a one-state mechanism, because we are part of government, and we may not have all the resources to drive a prosecution in terms of going all the way to recovery, but we can give the relevant agencies the necessary information and the necessary, I'd say, support to finalize and to go straight into prosecution. So we are working together with the AG and with the IYOCO to bring this to a conclusion.
Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission also indicated that they are working to deal with questionable investment schemes on the market.
People can also go on our website and file complaints. And really, we will be working with the security agencies. We also get communications from them when they alert us some of these things, and we clarify that if it's not licensed by us, we communicate to them right away. If it's a licensed firm engaging in questionable activities as well, we also alerted and we try to intervene.
Paul Abebio indicated that as a commission, they are committed to protecting investors in the country.
Now, contrary to some assertions that network marketing in Ghana could be a major avenue for scammers, Max International's activities may not be just providing health products, but also transforming lives. A Diamond Associate member recounts how he retired his mother after joining the network market. Bismarck Awusa has been following events at its January kickoff.
The industry leader in the production of wellness and weight loss supplements and products, Max International, has organized its annual January kickoff with plans to do more by way of contribution to the economy. The get-together was in recognition of its hard-working associates. This was an inspirational moment for all its members and people who are passionate to build their business with good health.
Gets us started in terms of the momentum building throughout the year. Then we have a July kickoff as well, so mid-year kickoff, and then we have our annual convention in October. So this is really the start of the new year. It begins some strategies that we want to put in place into the market, some things that we've heard from the field, some things that we know in terms of what Ghanaians here need in terms of opportunity or health. And so this is really the kickoff of that.
Meanwhile, the firm has assured that network marketing as an emerging business in Ghana is legitimate. The highest paid associate bagging over 50,000 a week, Dr. Bright Reku convinces Ghanaians about its legitimacy.
There's no product, there's no service, there's nothing being offered. Bring your money, we give you returns. There's another business, there's no product, there's no service, there's nothing being offered, no value. Bring money, bring people with money, we give you money. That's a Ponzi scheme. Then there's a business where there's a product being sold, and the company says that we're going to make sales, but you are the marketing division. So my business is to tell you about Max products. You buy products. You join me in business, and we all talk about Max products. As products leave the company, what happens? Money comes in. Company makes revenue, and then they pay us.
Meanwhile, a double diamond associate of Max said Java is beside himself with joy as to how his association with Max retired his head porter mother early.
To talk about my family, my mom is very, very precious to me, and anybody that knows me at Max knows the story with my mom, right? So one of the things that I'm very proud of was the fact that I retired my mom from working. I mean, it's really exciting me because she sacrificed all her life trying to get me through school. You know, I saw her walking on the street selling things to get me through school. There were instances I joined her when I was in college to also help her, you know, carry things and sell. So when I started making income at Max, the first thing I did was to tell her to stop working.
In a related development, events ambassador at Max, Makafui Seshi, says the firm is organizing a lifestyle tour for the general public.
Expect the best because we're just getting started with the lifestyle tour. We're all excited about it, and actually the good thing is that it's open to the general public. So people in Cape Coast, Kumasi, Sunyani should get ready for this exciting.
All right, if you're a lover of fish, you should listen to this next story. The temporary ban on importation of ornamental fish and tilapia still holds. Sector Minister, that is for the Fisheries and Aquaculture Ministry, Elizabeth Afolikwe, has hinted to Joy Business that surveillance at fish farms have been intensified this year to reduce cases of deaths. My colleague Charles Aite has been speaking with her in our reports.
Very nice. So, Honourable Minister, also help us understand this clarity. Has the ban on, tilapia, on ornamental fish, the importation of tilapia and ornamental fish, been lifted so far?
Ornamental fish is imported for its aesthetic purposes, for the usual aquariums that you know about. The importation of such fish has not been stopped. What we have actually stopped is the importation of tilapia, yes, into the country, because we produce a lot of tilapia. The ornamental fish, the issue with ornamental fish is just being careful about the entry of such fish into the country, because we suspected that within some of our neighboring countries there was the tilapia lake virus, the outbreak of the tilapia lake virus. So we're just creating awareness that anybody that suspects that some fish has been brought into the country through the back door.
But I believe somewhere last year as well, we interviewed you about the public scare regarding the tilapia lake virus, of which you made the assurance that everything is safe. Do you still stand by this?
Yes, I still stand by it. We had some fish kills on the Volta Lake, which actually occurred on a farm on the Volta Lake. And towards the end of the year, we had some fish dying on other farms as well. And we took that opportunity to test the fish, do some autopsy, and find out what actually caused the deaths of the fish. And it wasn't the tilapia lake virus. It was suspected to have been some lack of oxygen because of the opening of the Bagri Dam. Some water gushed into the Volta Lake, and it brought down the levels of oxygen within the Volta Lake. And some farms that were not properly managed because these farms, the cages were so close together, they were so packed, that in the least occurrence, there could be loss of oxygen within the environment that could also cause the fish kills. So these were some of the reasons that were raised. And then also, this year we are thinking of, because of the misuse of antibiotics, we suspected bacterial infection on the Volta Lake, and we want to vaccinate. We do a mass vaccination. Some farms are already doing vaccination of the fish, but we want to do mass vaccination of fish, especially on the Volta Lake.
All right. Based on the interaction that we had with the minister, it's very clear that the ministry will in 2019 be investing heavily in the production of aquaculture and ornamental fish across the country. This move, according to the minister, is to just not show up the production of these kinds of fishes, but also increase revenue in the fisheries industry. For Joy Business, I'm Charles Aite reporting. Well, this was a basis for our poll tonight on Business Live. If we can pull that up, we have been asking, has the recent tilapia lake virus scare affected your appetite for tilapia? And we've got 193 of you voting. We still have 16 hours before the voting is closed. But 34% of you say, yes, it has affected your appetite for tilapia. 66% saying no, it hasn't. Overwhelmingly, there are more people who still love their tilapia despite all the news going around about the tilapia lake virus. So that's the outcome of our poll tonight. And before we go, we take a trip to China, because official figures show that country's economy continued to slow in the last quarter of 2018, heightening fears about the impact on the global economy. In the 3 months to December, the economy grew 6.4% from a year earlier, down from 6.5% in the previous quarter. In the last 3 months to December, the economy grew 6.4% from a year earlier, down from 6.5% in the previous quarter. The data was in line with forecasts, but underlines recent concern about weakening growth in the world's second biggest economy. China's rate of expansion has raised worries about the potential knock-on effect on the global economy. The trade war with the U.S. has added to the gloomy outlook. The official figures out Monday showed the weakest quarterly growth rate since the global financial crisis. While China watchers advise caution with Beijing's official GDP numbers, the data is seen as a useful indicator of the country's growth trajectory. China's government has been pushing to shift away from export-led growth to depend more on domestic consumption. Policymakers in China have stepped up efforts in recent months to support the economy. Those measures to boost demand include speeding up construction projects, cutting some taxes, and reducing the level of reserves banks need to hold. This, of course, has global implications. That's it for Business Live tonight. There's more news on our website, joybusinessnews.com. My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for watching. We're back same time tomorrow.